The new Super Beats Heart Chews Advanced is now supercharged with CoQ10. Support your healthy CoQ10 levels and blood pressure with 2 chews a day. Visit RadioBeats, BEETS.com and save 15% with promo code DEAL.
This episode of the D-Lou podcast is brought to you by Goli Nutrition. As someone who's used Goli for quite some time, I can tell you that they're not only very good, but they're very beneficial. My favorite are the Super Green Gummies. The Super Green Gummies are uniquely crafted with a spectrum of essential nutrients such as vitamins A, B12, folic acid, and thiamine. It supports a healthy liver function, healthy nervous and immune system, digestive health, a boost to your metabolism, and overall health and well-being. There are no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or colors from artificial sources. They're vegan-friendly, gluten-free, and gelatin-free. All loyal listeners of the D-Lou podcast get a special 10% discount at checkout. Go to Goli.com, use promo code DLEW. That's Goli.com, use promo code DLEW. This podcast is a Believe Network and Siete production. Welcome to another edition of the D-Lou podcast, brought to you by Believe Network. I'm your host, Derrick T. Lewis. I'm actually recording this on a Wednesday night, and it's been a crazy week because as I'm recording this, yesterday was my birthday. Yes, yours truly turned 45 years old. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Grateful to see another year, and it was an awesome weekend. Someone very special as you go. My special lady, Jasmine, took care of me all weekend. And she has more plans for the following weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. So, nonetheless, like I said, I had an opportunity to watch Crown Jewel on Saturday. But before I get into Crown Jewel and talk about the recap and everything, I want to give a huge shout out to ECWA for putting on a fantastic show this past Saturday night out at the Jersey Dugout in Morganville, New Jersey. Huge crowd, huge turnout. You know, all the guys and girls that worked the show. Ryan Kavanaugh, thank you so much. Actually, this past weekend was my 2nd year anniversary with ECWA, and I look forward to some incredible things in 2024 with that organization as well. But before I get into Crown Jewel, I do want to talk about some breaking news that took place yesterday. The CW Network and WWE are teaming up because NXT is moving to the CW Network next October. There was a press release that took place yesterday, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, the CW Network will become the official broadcast home to WWE NXT in October 2024. The 5-year agreement marks the first time in its 13-year history that WWE NXT, which showcases WWE's hottest up-and-coming superstars, will air on a broadcast television network. WWE NXT will debut on the CW Network in October 2024 and will air 52 live weekly events throughout the season. We are thrilled to welcome the WWE brand into the CW Sports portfolio as they play an integral role in our mission to bring live sporting events to the network year-round, said Dennis Miller, president of the CW Network. WWE NXT is a perfect fit for the CW thanks to its dynamic young talent featuring the hottest rising stars in the sport and exhilarating, unpredictable weekly events. The passion and engagement of WWE's fan base is unmatched, and we are eager to grow that audience as WWE NXT's new home on broadcast television. The CW has made impressive moves over the past year with its live sporting programming schedule, said Nick Khan, WWE president. It's a truly exciting opportunity to expand NXT's audience by bringing the show to broadcast television for the first time in NXT's history. Launched by WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque, WWE NXT has aired weekly since 2012 and features the brightest young talent in sports entertainment. Nearly 90% of the participants in last year's WrestleMania were developed under the NXT banner. Led by WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, NXT is popular with younger audiences, ranking number 1 in cable primetime on Tuesday nights last quarter among adults 18 to 49 and 18 to 34. Year to date, NXT's average viewership is up 30% among adults 18 to 49. WWE superstars such as Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch have come up through NXT. WWE NXT joins a growing roster of live sports to the CW network, including ACC football and basketball games airing every Saturday night throughout the season, and Live Golf. The CW is also the new home of the Emmy Award-winning weekly studio series Inside the NFL and will broadcast NASCAR Xfinity Series beginning in 2025. The network will soon offer more than 500 hours of sports programming year-round. Unbelievable, guys. That is a game changer. Truly is a game changer because, again, what was once a developmental brand, and they can't call it developmental anymore. Like that, they can't. Especially when you're making moves like that, moving to moving to network television. That is huge. It is a huge opportunity for those that weren't seen, on an audience like that to be seen now to a broader audience. So congratulations to WWE, NXT, and CW, and I look forward to seeing how that partnership, business relationship grows. But again, as I stated, I was going to talk about Crown Jewel that took place this past Saturday afternoon. If you were on the East Coast in the United States, took place in Saudi Arabia. Over 10,000 fans, witnessed this premium live event. And first off, I got to say this. Kudos to Byron Saxton. The dude has done everything. Backstage, first of all, he actually was a wrestler down in FCW before it was NXT. He was doing that. He was doing commentary. Then he was, after he did the commentary, backstage interviewing. And then on Saturday, he was the ring announcer, and I got to tell you, he did a damn good job. So big ups to Byron Saxton for being a utility player, in WWE. And like my coach Danny Cates says at Monster Factory, you want to be an asset to every wrestling company that you work for. Don't just be one thing. Try to master as much as you can in the business so you can have longevity. It's most important. So the show starts, actually the pre-show, it was only one pre-show match, and it was Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough. I don't want to call him a part of the Judgment Day just yet because he's just that guy that kind of hangs around, and he's like that bad penny, man. Is always around. So I don't know what they're going to do with that, but Sami Zayn did get the win by pinfall. 9 minutes 40 seconds just to really get the crowd going. For the start of the show, and of course the show starts with a World Heavyweight Championship match between champion Seth freaking Rollins defending against Drew McIntyre. Now, the way they have been building up this match, I truly believe. First of all, they did a damn good job, developing the match with last month with Seth and Nakamura, because the way they were booked, the way it was booked, I thought that Nakamura was going to walk away with the title, and he ended up losing the last man standing match to Seth Rollins, and he retained. And I'm thinking now, okay, Drew McIntyre, former world champion, and they were alluding to the fact that he was he won the title literally in front of no fans because WrestleMania 36 was right at the beginning of the pandemic. WrestleMania was the only WrestleMania that was not seen in front of a crowd. It was no one there. So they played on that, and I'm thinking, okay, if they're getting ready for this heel run that I think Drew McIntyre is going to be on, I was thinking that he was going to win the title. Or what I thought is that if Drew would have won the title, then Damian Priest would have, would probably cash in Money in the Bank. So again, seesaw matchup, a lot of near falls, and I enjoyed the match. As a matter of fact, me and my girlfriend actually watched this entire pay-per-view. She was very entertained by the match, and she's starting to get back into wrestling again. So she's starting to get to know some of the newer superstars now in wrestling general, because I have her watch WWE and AEW. So I'm doing my best, guys. I'm trying to get her along. But anyways, Seth did win. He did retain the championship, and then all of a sudden you hear Damian Priest's music hit, and I'm thinking, oh boy, is he going to cash in? And then out of the blue, Sami Zayn attacks him, takes the briefcase, and jets out of there. he leaves the arena, and Damian Priest is upset, and he goes after him. So that's how that match ends, for the World Heavyweight Championship. The next match was the Fatal 5-Way match for the World Women's Championship, and it was Rhea Ripley defending against Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. And it was nice to get some shine, out of Zoe Stark. I think she's going to be the next one. I truly believe that. Like, I don't know if she's going to win the title with the next year, but I think maybe 2 years down the line, I think she's going to be the one. Because she is so good at what she does. And I like how they're using really all of them. Obviously, Nia Jax coming back in the mix. She did a couple spots. I mean, she took some bumps in there too, especially when she was trying to get off the top rope, tried to do the bonsai drop on a couple of occasions, and they kept knocking her off the second rope. And all 5 of these women, I mean, they really, really gave it. I think the match was like 11 minutes, 5 seconds. And they were able to, again, everyone was able to shine in the match. Rhea Ripley did retain the Women's World Championship, and again, I don't know what's going to happen between now and WrestleMania. They're kind of teasing her and Becky Lynch. I think that would be a really good main event at WrestleMania. But again, who knows? Because heck, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte were supposed to main event WrestleMania, and that didn't happen. So. And that was very unfortunate. But again, when you had this bloodline storyline, Kevin Owens and Sami and the Usos definitely have the main event night 1 of WrestleMania. So I'm hoping that we actually get a Women's World Championship match, either the WWE Women's Championship or the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. I hope one of those matches are the main event for sure. The next match was Solo Sikoa and John Cena, which I loved. Here's the irony. John Cena has had many feuds with members of the Anoa'i Fatu Johnson family. I mean, go through the list. He's feuded with Rikishi back in like 2003 when he was doing the whole Thugonomics thing. Then he feuded with Umaga. I mean, grief. I mean, he's feuded with The Rock, of course, Roman Reigns. He had his run-ins with the Usos, and now he's feuding with Solo Sikoa. Talk about everything coming full circle. And again, I've always liked Solo since he was in NXT. And he's just one of those guys that you don't really think is a young guy. He's not. I never saw him as a rookie because when you come from that pedigree of that Samoan dynasty, you know what I mean? You forget Rikishi's his dad. You know what I mean? And the Usos are his big brothers. So it's like Roman's his cousin. When you have that type of, lineage around you, you had no other choice. And he is just so good at what he does. He has a great presence about him. And I'm hoping that he sees some gold in 2024. That's one of my predictions. I think Solo Sikoa is going to be, whether it's an Intercontinental Champion or a United States Champion. I hope he wins one of those titles because he definitely deserves it. But anyways, he does. He did wrestle John Cena. I mean, the match was really good. It was a little snug, you know what I mean, and they really got it in. But Solo, I mean, that Samoan spike I think I counted maybe 12 or 13 Samoan spikes, and he pins John Cena. The match was 16 minutes and 10 seconds long. It really John Cena has been so giving, and I think now people are starting to really appreciate John Cena because as of today, the SAG-AFTRA strike is officially over. So it looks like we are not going to be seeing John Cena for a while because, Hollywood is opening up again. So, but that was a nice way for him to, put over a much younger talent, being very selfless in there, and really got Solo to shine and be the heel that we all know that he can be and that he's going to continue to be. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Solo going into the new year. I'm interested to see where the trajectory goes for him and where how high he can get. But the next match is for the United States Championship. Rey Mysterio was defending against Logan Paul, and let me just say this: it makes no sense on how good Logan Paul is. I'm going to repeat that. It makes absolutely no sense. And I'm not just talking about just his in-ring work. I'm talking about him, the art of working. There's a difference. You can wrestle and you can do all these moves. Don't get it twisted. Of course you do wrestling moves. That's what people want you to do. They want you to do moves but pro wrestling, the majority of pro wrestling is all about moment and how you make people feel. Logan Paul makes people feel like they want to punch him in the face because he's that good at being a prick. He should never be a babyface. I never bought him as a baby when he was trying to do the babyface thing against Roman Reigns last year. Crown Jewel, awesome match, but I didn't buy it. He is much more natural as a heel, and I think this match with Rey Mysterio, I think this is the perfect match, and I think putting the U.S. title on him made sense. Because if you were to put him in a world title match last year, I mean, heck, no harm in putting him in a U.S. title match. So they, I believe, Logan had one of his associates or whatever at ringside. I think try to hand him the brass knucks. Santos Escobar comes down the aisle and he picks up the brass knucks. But then all of a sudden he takes the knucks off and he just leaves it. He leaves them at the ring apron, which was interesting. And I'll get to that in a second. Logan picks him up, whacks Mysterio, and Logan Paul wins the United States Championship. I'm interested to see now, is this going to be the start of the eventual heel turn for Santos Escobar? I think they've been planting seeds for a while with this heel turn. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it. But I truly believe that an eventual match with Rey against Santos as a heel, I think that can do big numbers. I think they can do big things. I think maybe a one-on-one match at the Royal Rumble, or maybe if they can have a little scuffle during the Royal Rumble match to maybe plant some seeds for WrestleMania. So we'll see. We'll see about that. The next match is Io Sky defending the WWE Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. And number one, it was so good to see Bianca back on television again. She was missed, but obviously, time away is super important for any professional wrestler. Obviously, the bumps and the bruises and the traveling and the fatigue, not just the physical fatigue, but the mental fatigue. You know what I mean? They're on the road 250 to 300 days a year. And not just wrestling, but they're doing appearances and they're doing all these special events and all these other things. So it's like, it is very, very taxing on you, not just physically, but mentally. So I was glad to see Bianca back. Incredible match. Obviously, Io came down with Damage Control, Bayley, and Dakota Kai. But out of the blue, Kairi Sane returns to assist Io Sky in retaining the WWE Women's Championship, and I'm interested to see where this leads, because if you guys don't remember, right when Kairi Sane was leaving WWE in 2020, Bayley was the one that took her out. So now that Io Sky is in this group with Damage Control with Bayley, and then Bayley's looking up and seeing Kairi Sane and Io Sky, lock, together in the ring, I'm wondering what's going to happen with that. That intrigues me. That intrigues me big time, because now maybe this is time for Bayley's eventual face turn. I like her as a heel. I think she's really, she has such like a smart aleck type of heel, cocky and cowardice and runs and that type of thing. But I do miss her as a babyface, and I'm hoping that maybe this could be. But before I get into the next match, I do want to talk about one of my latest sponsors, Simpler Hair Color. They just partnered up with the D-Loop Podcast and Believe Network, and I wanted to give them a huge shout out on the show. But for men that are growing, gray hair, and this is, again, I'm just talking here, guys. I don't have anything prepared, but basically for all men that are growing, gray hair, whether it's beard or your hair on your head, listen, Simpler is the absolute best for you. Here's the deal. There's no mixing, there's no dripping, there's no mess. Super easy to use, whether you're a beginner or if you're a pro. And their hypoallergenic 100% vegan formula is made right here in the US, and it uses safer ingredients that are gentler on your skin. I want to repeat that. It is much, much gentler on your skin. Now here's the deal. It's reusable. So once you can give as many uses as up to 4 boxes of the drugstore brand dyes. So in other words, it could be as low as $3 per use. And it's 100% recyclable when you're done. And once you use it, you can reuse it. And, obviously one can for your hair, beard, and touch-ups. And there's no need for separate products. All right. So again, if you want to check it out, you can use my promo code when you go to simplerhaircolor.com. And when you go to the checkout, use promo code DLEW10. That's DLEW10. Again, that's simplerhaircolor.com. Use promo code DLEW10. Now, the next match I want to talk about is Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. And if I must say, I am a bit partial towards Damian Priest. He's a former Monster Factory heavyweight champion. As a matter of fact, he was one of the coaches at the world famous Monster Factory before he left to go when he got signed to WWE. So I'm super proud of what he's doing. And there was a report that came out maybe a day or two ago about just how the higher-ups in WWE are really, really pleased with his work ethic. Just him being a true pro. But again, I'm not surprised by that because based off what I saw when he was coaching at the Monster Factory, there are many products of Damian Priest / Punisher Martinez that are out here working the indies. Guys like LSG, Royal Money, guys like Shaheem Ali, guys like Anthony Bennett, Miranda Vanette, Gabby Ortiz. The list goes on and on of many careers that Damian Priest has actually touched. So to hear that type of, to read that, I was not shocked at all. But anyways, hell of a match with him and Cody, back and forth seesaw match. Two true pro wrestlers. You know what I mean? This was the match. I think this was the match I was looking forward to watching because, again, the H in the hole is, hey man, Damian still has that briefcase. You know what I mean? And Cody is still trying to finish his story. So Cody feuding with the Judgment Day and all that. I think that was, great match. Great match. But the cool part about the ending was Cody using the crossroads. I think it was like 3 of them, to really ensure the win. You know what I mean? And also make Damian look strong at the same time too. But Cody did win with with 3 crossroads at the end. 11 minutes 5 seconds. Great, again, solid match with 2, incredible workers. And of course, there was the main event, Roman Reigns defending against LA Knight. Again, LA Knight is by far one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. Obviously, I was familiar with his work when he was in TNA, and also when he was in the NWA, right before he got signed, I think it was in 2021. And you want to talk about what this man has done as far as a career turnaround in a year. Think about it. Last year, he was a manager using another name and another gimmick. And now he was on the main event of a premium live event challenging for the world championship against the top guy in the company. That says a lot about him. And again, great match. But of course, here we go again. And no one, and to be honest with you, no one had any expectations of LA Knight winning because we've seen this movie before in Roman Reigns championship matches where there's going to be this outside interference. And of course, it was Jimmy Uso that was interfering in the match, cost LA Knight the match. And of course, Roman Reigns continues this dominant championship run, something we haven't seen in 35 years. And again, the way it looks, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't think that Roman Reigns is losing that title anytime soon. I'm talking about past WrestleMania. Because at this point, he's just about under a year away for breaking Hulk Hogan's championship reign record. Hogan held the title, his first reign, from January 23rd, 1984 until February 5th, 1988. That is 4 years and I think about a week and a half. That is something we haven't seen in 35 years. So I'm pretty sure that they've looked at that before saying, hey, this could be, make this historic. Might as well go for it. If you're gone this far, you're 3 years in, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens. But again, that was Crown Jewel, and obviously there's things setting up for Survivor Series, which takes place in Chicago. I'm interested to see if someone shows up or not at Survivor Series, and I'll leave it at that. Well, again, I'm just going to cut it short. It's a short episode this week. Again, I had birthday stuff going on, but I definitely wanted to get this episode out there to you guys. And like I said, I promise every Thursday at 6 a.m. there will be new content every single week. And like I said, there could be some bonus stuff, when time does permit, or I'm able to do some extra wrestling stuff. But you can, again, if you haven't followed me on social media, you can. Again, it's The Real DT Lew on all of the social media, with the exception of Facebook, which is Derrick T. Lewis official page. Shop.DerrickTLewis.com is my store. I'm going to be moving to another platform, which is the parent company of Below the Collar. 1 Hour Tees actually is the owner of Below the Collar, and as well as Pro Wrestling Tees. They're actually doing away with Below the Collar on January the 2nd. So I'm in the process of moving my entire store to ProWrestlingTees.com, where you can get all of my existing t-shirts and hoodies, and I'm going to try to see if I can add more stuff on there. I'm going to try to see if I can add some hats, some other novelty items, etc., for my, not just my pro wrestling t-shirt that I do have, but my other products that I have on there, other t-shirt and hoodie designs that I have on there. But again, for now, the URL will not change. It's shop.DerrickTLewis.com. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, no matter which platform that you're on. Make sure you subscribe so you can get automatic new content every single week. Espacion, my single with Angie Stars. Don't forget, stream it, download it, no matter which platform it's on there. The video is on Vivo, YouTube, Tidal, and Apple Music as well. So make sure that you check it out. Spread the word. It doesn't cost you a thing. Well, I'm going to get out of here, and as I always say, no matter what it is you do in life, always remember to make it count. See you next time.
What if I told you that you can support your blood pressure and healthy CoQ10 levels with 2 chews a day? The new Super Beats Heart Chews Advanced is now supercharged with CoQ10. That's like getting CoQ10 for free. Our powerful blend of beetroot, grapeseed extract, and CoQ10 supports your cardiovascular health. Visit RadioBeats.com and find out how you can get a free 30-day supply on bundles and save 15% with the promo code DEAL.